but it makes you long for community. It does. I think everyone, like there's a couple in the church right now that's just like, we've got to get going. And you could just tell they're just so hungry for in-person community, and that is definitely a benefit of that aspect of it all. But I also think that there is something that the church has missed. The church has missed all kinds of stuff. Don't get me wrong, but one of the things that we really have missed on in the discipleship aspect, because I've always said, and everyone's still saying it today too, that a discipleship is not what it should be. But in that discipleship piece is we really have not done a very good job of encouraging people to really work through what's going on in the inside of them, to really be able to allow them to have serious and honest conversations with themselves and with God, and saying, God, I need you to take this part. I need you to take this. I need you to take this part, and then to have a community that can be able to help you and remind you. Wesley did it just by saying, "How's it with your soul? Did you work on that last part?" Kind of a thing. So nothing we're doing is new, but I really think it's almost our response of saying the church needs to change. And if there's any better time than right now to be able to introduce something unique or different. I mean, everyone has had to deal with change, so you don't have to worry about everyone to be like, I don't want a new change. Like, well, you've been living in change for the past 2 years,
right?
Those hearts have been softened a little. But the idea that I really want to see occur is that that's going on, yes. But there's a difference between being cloistered as a Franciscan monk and then being what people would call a friar, a neo-friar, which is intentionally being in the world, living among the poor, or doing ministry of whoever God's called you in your community, in your local place. And that could be anything. You could be the quilting club, that's your community, and it could be the skiing group or whatever else. But to be able to encourage people to live into who they're called to be as a Christian in the world on purpose, as a disciple, as a person who's constantly learning and being a student of Christ, and loving on the other people to do that. And so it's okay. So Father Richard Rohr, I'll never forget when I went to go hear, he invited me to come to one of his classes for the Living School. And he was talking about the formation of the Franciscans. He created the Franciscan order so that the Franciscans can be on the edge of the inside of the church. And they're intentionally supposed to be on the edge of the inside. And the reason I say is because the church will automatically always have a tendency to become insular. It will always want to become just only thinking about itself, only dealing with itself, only dealing with its own problems, and never really kind of living out what Christ wanted us to do by loving God through loving our neighbor and other people. And so the idea is that we would create an order with people saying, yeah, I will do the best I can to live by this rule, this life of this rule. And yes, I would do the best I can to be able to live into, just really simple vows or something like that. And it could be for clergy or laity, especially when I first thought about the Order of the Trinity and creating the order. I was really thinking about clergy, because I really feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are going to feel lost when the church, whether you want to say it or not, when the church split occurs. There's going to be people that don't feel like that they belong on whatever side is going to be formed. And I wanted to try to be able to create a place for people to be able to be there, have a community, and still be supported, but still also have a really passionate desire to love their communities and care for the communities, but also have another community that they can be a part of to help them through that.